is Ocean, and I'm going to be doing the final exam discussion reflecting on your LeadCast series. So the first question is, which LeadCast episode was your favorite to create and why? What made it click for you? My favorite one was episode 5. I really enjoyed talking about motivating employees, and I just really liked talking about motivation in general. I just feel like that was a really great topic, and everybody needs to be motivated, and it helps everybody get through everyday life. I also enjoyed the guest that I had for that episode. The second question is, what surprised you most about hosting a podcast-style assignment? What felt natural and what felt challenging? Well, this is definitely the first time I've ever done a podcast hosting assignment. I was surprised that I was able to talk with other people and lead them in a conversation for 20 minutes, and I will admit it was a bit challenging at times. But once I got started and I was a bit more comfortable, it wasn't so bad. But yes, at first it was very uncomfortable. Having conversations and you're having to do improv, it's definitely a little bit uncomfortable, but once you have the conversation moving, it starts to get, more smooth and easy going. But yeah, it's definitely mind-boggling to get started and actually do it, because I felt like it was more, I made it more challenging in my mind than it really had to be, thinking about doing it and actually getting it done. And when I actually did it, it wasn't as hard, but the thought of doing it was a little stressful. Number 3, in what ways did the planning sheet help or hinder your creative and organizational process? So I think it helped because I was able to list out some of the topics and questions that I was going to ask and kind of organize it. So I definitely don't think there was any way that it hindered me, because I still did what I wanted to do in the actual podcast. So I think it was definitely helpful. I enjoyed having a script or just a paper that I could go and look at to help me whenever I was a little bit stuck or uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say. Gave me some inspiration, motivation. Number 4, what's one major takeaway about leadership, communication, or collaboration that you gained through this series? I think a major takeaway I got from this podcast was being able to lead people in a conversation and get, more comfortable with talking to people, and communicating with the guests clearly. I also think I gained skills on how to collaborate with my guests and get their feedback from their experiences. I feel like I learned a lot about other people's life lessons and knowledge, and I feel like it was very interesting hearing other people's points of view. I feel like they had a lot to teach that they didn't even really know about, and I think they even realized a lot about themselves and their work while talking to me about it on this podcast. So that was kind of satisfying to watch and, hear. So yes, I did enjoy that. And yes, I feel like I got a lot from it, and I appreciate it because it didn't bring me out of my shell and force me into a environment that was probably uncomfortable, but we learn, and it makes us better and teaches us, and that's the point of going to school and stuff, so we can be better at stuff that make us uncomfortable, and the things that we probably wouldn't do unless we were forced to. But yes, now I'm gonna be asking the 3 questions. I am gonna ask, what was the biggest challenge you faced during this project, and how did you overcome it? That's my first question. My second question is, how did you keep the conversation flowing naturally instead of sounding scripted? And my third question is, which episode felt the most meaningful or insightful to you, and why? And that's the end. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see everybody else's videos.